It's all about you, for you. We break your day to the rising of the sun. We start you off on the positives with self-energized refilling. Hand in hand, toe to toe, in a soothing by and by. We go through your day, keeping you updated with developments around your world and your endeavors. You're better off with Cemtv. As your cheerleader, in your little winning steps, we've got your back when you're down. We lift your spirits and your sights beyond your limitations towards horizons of possibilities each day portends. With a pat on your back, we nudge you on to never think less of yourself. Go do your best, daily, leave the rest. At the end of each day, we urge you, do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on life. Anything is possible. You are going somewhere to happen one day. And when the day winds down, when you need a reliable arm of information and entertainment, welcome home to Cemtv. It's all about you.
In-depth analysis and dissection of news that matters. It's today's news surgery on the Cemtv Morning Pulse. Stay with us.
You are.
What is the matter?
I feel a little low.
I know what could help. Cemtv Morning Pulse. It's a good day to shine on Cemtv Morning Pulse.
In-depth analysis and dissection of news that matters. It's today's news surgery on the Cemtv Morning Pulse. Stay with us.
It's a bright, beautiful morning here live on Cemtv, and it's time for us to head into the surgery room to look into some of the news stories that made it to the front burner of conversation, how these news stories affect you and each and every one of us across the Nigerian society, the African continent, and the world as a global village. My name is Francis Oyima, and I'm excited to welcome you to Cemtv News Surgery. Of course, it's always going to be a full house, and this morning I'd like to start by introducing my colleague and co-anchor, Mibaka Inyenegi. Good morning, MI. How are you today? You know, each time I call
Beautiful
you MI,
morning.
My mind goes to the MI the singer. I wonder if you used to rap while you were growing up.
Well, no, I didn't, and it's one of my, I think, greatest regrets. I have a feeling if I had gone through some fundamental music school, I may have done something, done a mark in the music industry. Because sometimes I try to sing, like there's a sing to yourself in the bathroom. to sing. You know, but it's a great day, and good energy is louder. And at Cemtv, we are pumping it up. So join us, stay hooked. Let's pump up the energy.
And yes, the spice of life is, you know, the biggest surprises that we have, and that happens to be the woman. And in our midst, we have the adorable barrister Christine. Good morning, looking gorgeous as usual.
Good morning, Francis. You know, I was feeling left out because, I mean, why would you do that?
Women and jealousy.
Give me
Women
all
and
that.
jealousy.
We are saving the best for
I
the
know.
last.
For the last.
You know, good morning, Francis. You look dashing as always.
Thank
good morning,
you.
Rebecca. You are the hot choco. I love it.
In here is cold, so you
I
can
know.
feel it.
I
So let's
know.
give you the hot energy. Let's absorb the cold.
But come to think of it, today is already, you know, day 17 for the month of June. That means in just about 13 days, we are going to have
be a wrap.
2026 cut into two.
How time
has
flies.
it been for you this 2026? Looking at your New Year resolution, I don't know if you keep them or if you're one of those who make New Year resolution every January. How has the year been so far for you?
Thank you for reminding me. I had two from them amongst my resolutions. Two of them. You reminded me. I failed. I acknowledge it, and that's a mark of good leadership. I told myself I was going to write 3 books this year. I told myself I was going to read a certain amount of books this year, and exigencies, work, challenges have distracted me, and you reminded me again.
Good thing you still have 6 months to catch
I'm guilty. I'm guilty, but it's always good to have. Some say we don't keep our resolutions, but it's good to have things to do as a watch, as a guide. It's like a mirror. Sometimes when you wake up, you're well all dressed up, and then the moment you turn to the mirror, you say, there's powder here. And so without the mirror, you would have thought that you're looking good. So it's good we have it. Now, generally, it's been topsy-turvy. It's been a roller coaster and mixed bag of challenges, basically and predominantly political, economic, and geopolitics. It's affected our lives. And when they say we are all connected, indeed, we can now tell that COVID was one that told the whole world in a language that no one had ever spoken before. No one had experienced that kind of lockdown, scared for your life, health, pandemic before. But for the first time, the whole world was like shut down. It was like, wow, was the world coming to an end? Now again, the closure of Hormuz as a result of the war between Iran, America, and Israel, again has held the world down. We are indeed interconnected. You see, if only the world comes to understand that we need each other for our prosperity, not PhD, not pull him down. Because what we see, the energies of the world is pulling people down. Look at arms. Arms proliferation is at an all-time high. Why? People spend multi-billions of dollars, trillions to destroy another man. Why not we divest that energy into making sure that from the north to the south, east to the west of the world, everybody prospers. Okay? Life is good for everybody. I don't know. And then in Nigeria, it's been after on your mandate, we stand, it's my turn. It's been wars, and they will protest and protest, which is they like pump it up the volume. They're not hearing us, so let's go to the streets. Well, it is what we are here.
So, Marisol Christian, how are you doing on the agenda of New Year goals and resolutions, what to achieve and what not to achieve? Will you call yourself a pass mark?
I call myself a pass mark. Okay. Yeah. Listen.
We're listening.
There used to be a time where I'll just, keep my diary because I'm a journal girl. I love, writing.
Tell me which girl doesn't.
I'll do this January, I'll do this February, but sometimes it doesn't work. So I said, okay, this is what I'll do. The first quarter of the year, if I'm able to achieve this, I will be happy. If I don't achieve this, I will keep be fighting. Happy. And I'm just living my life that way, taking one day at a time. You said something about COVID and the world need each other. I found love during COVID.
Well. I found love.
Oh, that was
okay.
I found love during COVID.
Okay. I didn't see that one coming. So while people were busy losing love and families getting broken during COVID, you found love.
Some actually got married during COVID.
Communication was intense.
Some became richer, and even the richest. What's this online streaming platform?
That's
Jesus Christ. The online streaming
the video platforms. Netflix. Yeah.
Netflix became richer than oil companies like Mobil.
Yeah, because people were home.
People
and
were
watching.
People turned. So the traffic became astronomous. So they blew their traffic and they made money more than Mobil. The records are there. Go check it up. during COVID. Some people cashed out.
Yes,
You
some
know?
people cashed
Some
out.
people got pregnant.
And during COVID,
During COVID.
and during COVID, we had the highest rate of divorce and the highest rate of
Discoveries came on.
abuses.
I agree. I agree.
Discoveries came on.
I saw a lot.
But you know something that came to my mind just recently. I saw comments when you say you're a Nigerian and you travel to another country, and the mere mention of your name and you're identifying yourself as a Nigerian. The first thing that comes, oh, fraudsters, oh, Yahoo, Yahoo, and all of that. So this Nigerian brother made Nigerians proud on X. When he narrated his story, he said he got into China, and then within the course of his moving around, got to interact with a Chinese young lady. And then when he introduced himself, the young lady said, when he said, oh, I am this, I'm from Nigeria, the first thing the young lady called him was not his name, but Yahoo fraudster.
Oh my.
And then he said, come on, why
a
would you
negative brand
be
image.
a stereotype?
Perception.
Why would you be, prejudicing me that way? She said, oh, but that's all you guys are known for. So he stopped arguing and just said, okay, so if we are known as fraudsters, then you are COVID-19.
Ah!
Oh,
That was an expensive
And
gift.
she broke down.
That
you
was
know,
below the belt.
she had a meltdown
That was
really?
below the belt.
below the belt. But it also speaks a big story. That most times, when we think of, the stereotypes and prejudices against other people, their tribes and races, we do not put ourselves in the picture.
Yeah.
What if this was actually
yourself in
addressed
their
to
shoes.
me?
Empathy.
How will
Empathy.
I feel? And that is where we need to be. You've spoken about the need for us to collectively understand that in the world today, we need each other. I would sum that up by wishing or, sharing my wish. I wish I was, an engineer who specializes in creating and fabricating weapons. And if there is one weapon I would love to create, it would be a love bomb. So that once we hear there is, some fractions and crisis somewhere, we just dump the bomb and everybody will fall in love and the crisis will
Let me
come
also
to an
clear
end.
something. It interests everyone listening out there for the things you've touched. You see, this issue about stereotyping Nigeria or any other country, which is a human weakness, and the weakness is also a strength. It depends on how it is used. And this is what I mean. We all see differently, and it's called perspectives.
True.
Now, let me go to the learning process. Now, it is said by experts that we learn from sensation through our senses.
Correct.
And that message through our senses is called sensation, and it's been interpreted individually from our mind, and it's called perception. Every human being has a perception. So if you keep this, when I was in school, our art teacher can keep any object and keep us around and say, draw it. And he will stand from where you sat to look at your drawing. And that was when he told us about perspectives. So you say, oh, this is a cup. From where I'm looking at, I'm not seeing the brand on this cup, the logo.
Just seeing a cup.
I'm just seeing the handle. From the cameraman opposite there, he's seeing a different perspective. So if I tell him you're wrong, I am actually wrong because I'm not seeing what he's seeing. Therefore, before you stereotype anybody, see from more perspectives, possibly see from the perspectives, even from the person you're stereotyping. So let's say you're calling Nigerians fraudsters. Is it true? We have some of the brightest brains in IT, in AI, in every part of endeavor of the world. Nigerians are there doing great things in the world. So for you to say, once you see a Nigerian and stereotype the person to be a fraudster, and in fact, according to psychologists and experts too, the negatives and the criminal individuals are fewer. The good ones are more in population, even in any country. Those that pull down the country are fewer. The armed robbers, they're fewer.
The bad guys are actually fewer.
So in branding, it's about narrative and perspective, and you must respect that. So you may be seeing from whatever perspective, and then the narrative may be coming from another perspective, but you are advised to broaden your view. So don't stereotype Nigerians as fraudsters again. That's below. And then the punch came below the belt. So
I totally, as much as I felt for the young lady, I totally understood why the Nigerian man had to go that way.
So that was
Just
aura
to,
for aura?
it was making
Send
her
a strong
understand
message.
that, you know, you don't dish out to other people what
Without-
you don't want to be dished
Yeah.
out to, because we all have something we are known for.
Yeah.
For instance, in Akwa Ibom, where I come from, you know, there are places you mention, and the first thing that comes to mind is you're a criminal. There are places you mention, and the first thing that comes is that you're promiscuous, whether you're a man or
Yeah.
a woman, you know, and those sentiments. But in
is it
reality,
true that all Akwa Ibom people do the dog meat? I really need to know.
is it true that we do?
my
we do
gosh,
dog
my gosh, my
meat?
gosh.
Okay, Barry Sir
My gosh.
Christian,
Yes, please.
the great God,
Oh,
the Lord God Almighty, gave us everything on the surface of
As
the
meat,
earth
of
to
food.
eat and to enjoy and to
I'm not
dominate.
stereotyping.
So,
But food and
dog
medicine.
meat is meat.
This is an Akwa
At
Ibom
the
man
end of the
defending.
day.
Okay, I hear you.
And while I love dogs as pets,
Take it easy,
I
brother.
also love them as meat.
Oh my.
End of the story. Let's head to the front pages of the national dailies and briefly see what the newspaper headlines are saying this morning. Of course, the very first headline we'll be sharing. Bariswa, take us through.
Okay, and the Punch paper this morning is saying Mark slams federal government after a court reversed ADC deregistration. And still on the Punch paper this morning, you still have NDC to bind Obi Kwankwaso with anti-defection oath. That's interesting. Senate recalls members from recess over rising insecurity in Nigeria, and driver's death. Air Force detains officer, launches probe. State kick as Senate move to amend Electricity Act. Amending Electricity Act. I hope it worked for us though. I hope it really.
Well, let's see
really
how
worked
the
for
amendment
us.
will go.
Yeah, I know that. Okay, all right, let's move over to the next story this morning. Still on the Punch, yeah, the flip side of Punch. President Tinubu on Democracy Day, a general's death, and Katsina unanswered question. Oh my. On The Guardian this morning, digital adoption leaves 300 local governments. You can get this on page 6 on the Guardian paper. Are stranded, dependent on POS agents. The Vanishing Bank branch 30,008. You go check that on The Guardian this beautiful morning. And on Daily Trust, how gunmen attacked NIPS. Very important. A court suspends Justice Leafu's judgment, the registration, ADC, and others. Go check this on the newspaper this morning. Let's move over to The Nation. The Nation is saying how 1999 Constitution was drafted by Abdul Salami. NDC candidate to sign bond against defection. And the screaming headline on The Nation was a renew onslaught against bandits. Terrorists assault Tinubu. Respect for ADC accord 3 others. Okay, I'll take this as the last paper before we move into news surgery this morning. On this day, it said Tinubu hails troops for killing bandit kingpin. Batsuji declares its notable blow. Appeal court suspend Leafu's order to deregister parties. And that's what we can take this morning on the newspaper. It's time for us to go into our surgery room with our gloves on and do what we know how to do best. Over to you, Francis.
Well, the surgery room, we're starting with something that is very much viral across Nigerian social media platforms. So, one of the leading influencers or social media influencers and activists, you may call him, known as Very Dark Man, has been on the streets of Nigeria and recently in Oyo State protesting, calling on the Nigerian government and, in particular, the Oyo State government under Seyi Makinde to bring back the abducted school children who were kidnapped and have been in captivity for weeks now. The video that we're bringing to you shortly shows Makinde, the Oyo State governor, reacting and responding, making promises many Nigerians have asked, will we ever get to see the fulfillment of these promises? Or this is just another political rhetoric presented on the camera to show that somebody within the corridors of power is working, when in reality, there is no such action. Let's take a watch, and then we'll come back and delve right into the conversation.
Let me give you the assurance that I am also distressed because I have children of my own. I'm also distressed with what has happened to our children. It has been 1 month. It was 1 month yesterday. 1 month and 1 day already. Because of the nature of the security situation that is involved, I cannot divulge a lot of information. But I can tell you that there's no information that any of those children or their teachers and because it is a rescue operation, and this is the first time anywhere in Nigeria that they've kidnapped people, abducted people, that they have done it. This is the first time they've done it to nursery and primary school children. This is the first time. And these are children that they cannot even run or do anything for themselves.
Well, very dark man there, seeming to have extracted some level of commitment on the part of the government of your state. Whether or not these commitment will actually materialize into Nigerians seeing the return of all the school children that were abducted is another cause for conversation. But still on social media, we saw Monday Boho and some youths, video footages of some youths in your state saying they've had enough. And all of them parading themselves with machetes, with sticks, and den guns, or what you call the hunter guns, heading into the forest in what many have described as the citizens taking their collective welfare and security into their hands. I must say I'm excited about the move that Very Dark Man has made from, going to the National Head Force headquarters, to the Head Force headquarters, to the streets of Abuja, and now taking it to your state, where this incident actually happened. And I also like to credit, one of Nigerian singer, Davido, for carrying the names of these, school children.
The children?
On his blazers, his customized blazers, while performing at the World Cup. That was one of the deepest message. Although Nigerians, from the other divide of government have come out to criticize his actions, saying he's painting a negative image about Nigeria. But my question is, whether or not Davido painted or carried the names of these abducted school children, is it a lie that in Nigeria right now our schools are no longer safe and children are still in the bush kidnapped by terrorists and have spent more than 3 weeks, and yet the government of Nigeria under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not been able to bring those people back?
Oh, no, Francis, I'm confused here. Davido had a performance and he went ahead, cresting the name of the school children. I'm feeling all emotional right now on his attire just to pass the message. And you're saying he's painting Nigeria negative, in a bad light. Are we in a good light to start with? Are we in a good place? The Very Dark Man taking up to the street, going to Abuja, doing all of that. Don't also forget that he's been in this limelight for coming up with things that are not going well, especially when he came to River State about somewhere in Ahoda, Bonaboy came and they needed to fix the road and all of that, and he's back again. He's not chasing clouds. This is reality. It's enough for Nigerians, to just sit down and watch our children be taken from us. So he wore that outfit and he went out to perform. What has the government done about that? Is it because it's not the children of the elite that I keep pounding every day? Every day. I just pray that there's since the citizens have started to take their rightful place, they should just make it last and not just a thing that will last for a few days. I know it's not easy, but we should keep pushing. Keep pushing. Don't just stay and watch. Imagine if these were to be your child. goes to school, you can't even get that child back. Why? Kidnapped. You don't even know the condition of that children. Now, these terrorists, they are feeding on this because they know this is a weak spot for the government and everyone in Nigeria. Because now they tried, the first thing they tried was, kidnapping and all of that, roadblock. But now they decided to keep their trap on vulnerable children, wanting Nigerian to react, but yet the federal government has done nothing. They'll still see it as cloud chasing by Very Dark Man and other social media personnel, and at the end of the day, we're just where we are, sinking.
You know the other sad narrative that has happened as a result of this. Two things. If you watch, and people on social media have begun to, everyday Nigerian, ordinary Nigerians on social media have reacted to it. Before now, things that happen in the negative, the kidnapping, you find hundreds of blogs, influencers carrying the story. But have you watched and observed that since Very Dark Man came back to Nigeria with the alleged rumor and speculation, that, especially after his confrontation on social media with the presidential aide, Boala, where he alleged that, he was supposed to be investigated, arrested, and prosecuted. It was speculated that the moment he lands in Nigeria, he will be arrested, but that we didn't see that happen.
No, we didn't see that.
We saw him protest in Abuja and now head to Oyo, state to still continue with that protest. Unfortunately, we have not seen social media influencers and bloggers carry the protests. Remember how it was during the NSAS?
I know.
That every blogger, every influencer was on the street and had a story or two to share about the NSAS protest that was going on in Lagos, and then eventually spread to all the states of the federation. But we've not seen that level of engagement. And the question now comes: have the bloggers in Nigeria been bought over also by the ruling All Progressive Congress? Recall back about a month or two ago, one of the bloggers who tells stories about the bad governance, what's his name again? Governor Munike, came out to say, look, I have been tempted to a point where I would have yielded. That politicians have called him and offered him money to stop putting up the kind of content that
keep his mouth shut.
So the question now comes: have her influencers been bought over to keep quiet and not further, widen the spread of the protest currently ongoing by Very Dark Man?
Or are they scared? You should also think of it. Are they scared? Because I see this Very Dark Man, like, the David and Goliath of Nigeria of our time. Maybe they are scared, you never can tell. But him taking this path, I feel with time, bloggers might actually yield if they are not bought over, like you said.
Well, it's something we'll definitely have to wait and see. But
Yeah.
in the midst of all of this, different consent, and then just coming to my mind right now, it's the narrative coming out of from the wife of the late General Abubakar Rabe that was just buried and was recently rescued. She showed a video surfaced yesterday showing the ration that about 7 to 10 of them were given to feed on. That is not even enough to feed one person for 1 week. So the question or the concern now comes: how are the children in the forest feeding? Because that's the first thing you have to consider. Apart from the security, apart from the torture, apart from the inhuman conditions they're being exposed to, how is their feeding? Are they properly being fed as human beings? And if they are not, what is the guarantee that, the Oyo State governor coming out to say, oh, we are going to bring the children back? Meanwhile, of the over, 46 of them, we've had one dead already. What is the guarantee that we're going to get these children back in a shape and manner and health situation that we can all say we have actually gotten them back?
Well, if we talk about guarantees, I can't say, looking at the precedents of the government in power and the way they've been going about it, you can't beat your chest to say, yeah, certainly. Yes, news surfaced even this morning that another over 300 persons were set free from the dens of the captives and the terrorists, and then some other terrorist groups and bandit camps were also dislodged and defeated. But the way they've been going about it, if I compare from my perspective and what I am thinking and I expect from our Nigerian security architecture, compared to the kind of force Israel and United States of America apply to free their citizens, I would say ours is below par and below expectation. That does not mean that we do not appreciate their effort. But what we want is more than just effort. We want the might of Nigeria. If the country says it has it, if Nigeria is truly powerful, if Nigeria truly has the security hardware and wherewithal that it claims it has, we want to see them employed and put into use to aggressively chase these the terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, chase them out of their dens, chase them out of their comfort zones, and take, if not 99% of the territories that they occupy and use as the camps for hiding citizens.
As hideouts.
Now, you also asked the feeding or welfare.
Of the
I mean,
children.
a drowning man holds to a straw as a life jacket. These guys are as good as dead. If they could see, there was a point they said they were even drinking their urine. There was a point they said they fed them with uncooked yam or something. These guys just want something to barely take them from one day to another day, 1 second to another second. So we're not talking about comfort here. But the point is, like I said, what we want to see is for the Nigerian government to bring to the barest minimum maybe 1% of kidnapping, of terrorist attacks, and massively take over from these terrorists. Chase them out, let their business go out, let it be a business that they will not, when they come into it again, it will be centuries to come. They will never think about it again. If you see the way the Israelis and the Americans attacked them, look at the way they did to the Afghanistans when they went to Afghanistan, and even when they went to Iraq and Libya, they went with full force.
Wipe them out.
So that's the kind of force we want to see, so that the next time they think of coming to Nigeria, they'll say, no, don't go there.
Well, the question remains whether or not our leaders will be able to put up the political will and decisive actions and, military precision that is required to actualize this dream. But let's head on to Abia State, where the state is currently trending on social media because the Abia State government reportedly has decided to, tar the road leading to Alex Ekubo's village. Recall that Alex Ekubo is from Abia State, and after his passing and the service of songs that was held in his honor in Lagos State, that was well attended by colleagues in the industry, plans for his burial has been currently on the preparations, and as a result of that, we saw picture footages coming out of Abia State where a village road that has remained untarred for decades is finally undergoing serious and very quick construction. And the aim of the road construction is to allow for friends and colleagues, visitors from all around Nigeria and the world to be able to travel to the hometown of Alex Ekubo to pay their last respect. And Nigerians have taken to the social media. Question number one is, why did the government of Abia State have to wait for Alex Ekubo's passing to fix the road? Question number two on the other side is, even in his passing, being a good man, he's still attracting, good thing to his own village. I'd like to share your thought, Marisol.
It's not about attracting good thing to his village, even in his passing. It's just that Nigeria likes celebrating negativity. There's an artist that says, celebrate me when I day alive, not when I'm dead, like I'm gone, not my spirit. You understand? I know it's beautiful, but why doing that now? Is it show off to canvass for votes? Or what are you trying to do? Is this coming from a good place, or is eye service? That is my question.
Emma, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's regrettable. It's and it's what we're talking about. We can't afford to appear like shenanigans. people who don't think right, people who are irresponsible. It's the height of irresponsibility that because a prominent figure or person or attention or visibility has been given to a situation, that is when you know that it requires you to do the needfuls.
Now he's there to
Nigeria
brought realization.
cannot be like that. Every part of Nigeria that we claim as our territorial integrity, it's Nigeria. If someone wants to secede one part of Nigeria, the government will rise up and say, oh, no, it's Nigeria. When you say it is Nigeria, it behoves on you as a leader to ensure that the needfuls are done there developmentally. That's why you're in government. There are resources there. Use those resources to develop the areas. So there is ward, there's local government, there is a state where Alex Okubo is. It is only a microcosm of the entire macrocosm of what's happening in Nigeria, and this is not the way to lead. The reason why we have this federal system is to bring the dividends of democracy down to the grassroots. So what are we doing? It's a failure on the council of that area where that road is. It's a failure on the local government chairman. It's a failure on the governor. And the way administration is done, whenever you come into office, you must have a scope. Your scope must be informed by the needs, wants, and demands of the people. You come up with solutions, strategic solutions, and you must inform the people. You may not do all at a time, but you will tell them, look, I hear you. I see your challenges. And this is our program with KPIs. Our leaders need to go to management school.
Well, I need to play the devil's advocate this morning because Alex Otti is currently in power in Abia State.
Okay.
And what's on the streets of Abia is that he has been performing excellently well. And we've seen...
I concur.
Proof.
Yes.
So we can excuse the administration of Alex Otti, and especially considering where Aruchuku is. It's not like in the heart of Abia State. Okay, so we're talking about Aruchuku. And then... there are a few comments I'd like for us to look at this morning. The first comment comes from WDTV, said, some of you here, sorry, I'm going to use the Nigerian English and try to interpret it, but I'll read the way it is. He said, some of you here does the same thing. Your parents will die. You will start house renovation. Nobody they boil hot say he want to fall from tree. Nobody they prepare for death.
Okay.
That is coming from WDTV, telling us that as Nigerians, and it is the reality, some of us wait and leave our parents to wallow in hunger, starvation, and poverty, and live in dilapidated buildings.
I agree. So let me rephrase and to other butters who are saying, we give it to Alex Otti. He's one of the governors I love. He's one of the most outstanding public administrator and leader we've gotten in recent times. Yes, the challenge in Abia State, like any other part of the world, is enormous. But like I said this is a call to action. It should no longer be government business as usual, where, like what he pointed out, somebody came into Nigeria, just a couple of them, but this particular one, he said, since he traveled out of Nigeria, university particularly, he came back to his local government. He said, when I grew up here, I was traveling to the village here. I traveled out of this country over how many years, and I came back. This place in my local government is still like that.
Whoa.
What is happening? You don't just get it. You travel to other parts of the world, you come back, you see something new.
Development.
Okay? So, but from the individualist point of view, I agree with you that we should always go back and develop our areas, not waiting for occasions like burial, like marriage, now to always come back.
To sum this up, Caroline Ibem, obviously from Abia State and from Aruchuku precisely, said, Nigerians now, all the prominent people that died in Aruchuku, even a senator's mother was buried without building the roads, and none of you said anything. Just that a good governor is doing the right thing, and people are crying instead of being grateful to God for the good governance while we mourn our brother.
No.
Now, she was reacting to our comment. No, not our comment. The negativity that people are saying to the government of Alex Otti. Because majority of the comment is like Alex Otti is trying to use Alex Okubo's burial to show that he's doing something.
Because
no, doing the right
kind of person that came there, a lot of celebrities came, prominent persons. It would have touched him to say, wow, so this place is still like this.
So his death is now benefiting Aruchuku. That's it.
Yes, benefiting the area. That's the good way. We should bring positivity.
When you're dead.
But that's why I said this is it. One thing our leaders should do. The professor was here. He pointed out it's a classical case. forget about politicking. There's politics and there's governance.
True.
After you politic and you win, you make all the promises, go back, and governance requires that you must come down to the needs, wants, and demands of the people. Across, no matter how big the place is, find out from the nooks and crannies what are, and then come up with a solution. Have a program, a plan. Communicate your plan to the people so that they can say, yes, the government, we don't have roads yet, but this is the plan of the government, and this is the timeline the government gave us, so that they can even defend you, like some persons are defending, to say, okay, look, the good governor has come down to do this, and people are still complaining. Okay, like I said initially about perceptions, we may not have all the information and the updates.
All the sides.
Yeah, so from the point of view we are talking about, so is it we're not taking away from the wonderful Governor Oti, but we are saying that going forward, 2027, because this time is out, 2027 going forward, the citizens hold your leaders accountable. Anybody that's coming to say, I want to be a councillor, I want to be a local government chairman, I want to be a House of Reps, you must go down to your area and find out, and then facilitate. Find a way to bring solutions there, not really when you have occasions.
Well, I'll take KMI's word as our collective parting shot, because we share the same mindset, and that is to hold our leaders, our politicians, and most importantly, ourselves, the voter, accountable to do and make the right decision. That's the size of our package on Cemtv News Surgery this morning. Many thanks to MI and Barrister Christine.
Thank you very much.
Hope we've touched your life in more than one way, and we expect that you're going to run with whatever you've gotten here today. Keep the positivity going on, and stay tuned to your one and only Cemtv. A whole lot more to come.
All right. Always remember to scan us out on all free-to-air decoder, and you can definitely connect with Cemtv. My name is Francis Oyimadet. On behalf of the family, we're signing out for now.
It's Cemtv Plus. Don't forget it. Cemtv Plus and live, YouTube and all our socials.
In-depth analysis and dissection of news that matters. It's today's News Surgery on